Have you ever gotten to the end of a busy holiday season and wish you had spent more time thinking about Christ? I know I have, and I'm here to share with you 3 Advent devotional tips that I wish I knew sooner. Tips that can help you prepare your heart for Christ. Now, the first tip is very simple and very straightforward. Find an Advent devotional reading plan. And the reason I share that tip is because sometimes all we need to really get ourselves focused on Christ and our hearts prepared is just a good reading plan, a plan where we're reading about the prophecies about Christ, or we're reading about the birth of Christ and all the events around it. But those can be some of the best readings we do during Advent, especially if your pastor is preaching a sermon series on one of those passages. Spending time throughout the week reading and thinking about that can really transform your Advent season. Oh, and I created one on my website, Dwell with Christ. I've got a free copy of that for you in the description, so be sure to check that out. I hope it's a blessing to you if you decide to use it. Next is find a good devotional. Sometimes the easiest thing we can do, because we're busy, because we already have Bible reading plans, is just grab an Advent devotional. I love using devotionals because it's usually a biblical reading, very short, and then maybe a couple of pages of writing about that passage or about the theme, and then maybe a prayer or a song at the end. 2 that I've really enjoyed: Love Came Down at Christmas and The Christmas We Didn't Expect. Now, these are deep. Sinclair Ferguson wrote Love Came Down at Christmas, and David Mathis wrote The Christmas We Didn't Expect. But that's what I like. I like something deep, something that I can think about, something that encourages me, a deep thought that strikes me. And I'll read that in the morning before I go to work, or during my lunch break, or even at night before bed. But it's so beneficial. Now, I've got one more tip, and then I'm going to give you a bonus tip if you stick around. My third tip is very simple, especially if you already have family worship, but it's incorporate Advent into your family worship. Now, what this could mean is grabbing a kid's Advent devotional. A company that I think does a really good job of this is the Good Book Company, because they create a lot of resources for kids. But I think just finding an Advent devotional or a devotional about the Christmas story that you can walk with your kids through is beneficial. You could take your Advent readings that you're reading personally and maybe find a coloring sheet and allow your kids to color that while you talk about it. And one thing that we do as a family is we light candles. We try to make Advent a special season throughout the year. So we'll light candles or Advent lamps. And our kids know once December hits and it starts getting dark earlier, we're eating a dinner by candlelight or by lamp, and we're going to talk about Christ. And then I told you that I was going to give you a bonus. And this is one of my favorite Advent resources to help us as a family set our sights on Christ. And it's Advent blocks by the company Good Kind. They have a little devotional book, which is pretty good. You may have to tweak a few things as you read it, but overall the devotional book is good. But what is really great is they have these devotional blocks. There's 25 days worth of devotional blocks. And each day you turn the block and it has the symbol for whatever you're reading about. And then at the end, on the last day, you turn all the blocks around and it has a special message for your children to read. I won't ruin that or spoil that in case you decide to get them. But my kids have loved the Advent blocks. And even after the first year, even though they know what it says, they love to have a turn to turn the Advent block. They also love lighting the Advent candles at dinner. So just to recap, find an Advent Bible reading plan, something that can help you stir your heart for Christ. And don't forget to check the description because I have one for you. Second is grab you a good devotional. I'll leave a link to these 2 that I shared with you. Step 3 is to incorporate Advent into your family worship. And then the bonus tip is to check out Advent blocks by Good Kind. Again, I want you to enjoy Christ. I want you to prepare your heart for Him and celebrate His first coming, because that's what Advent and Christmas are all about. If you found this video beneficial, would you hit the like button and comment, let me know what you benefited from? And also, would you subscribe or share if you haven't already? I thank you, and here are a couple videos that you might enjoy. YouTube thinks you will, and I think you will too. Thanks for stopping by to The Undistracted Christian. This ministry exists to help Christians like you stay focused on Christ, despite the distractions in the world around us. Grace and peace. See you soon.